was Kelly Timecat, and now I'm going to review quarter 3 films from 2022. At least for this session, I've already posted up quite a few reviews from this quarter. In those cases, I'll just mention those films. Largely scores 7, 8 or 9. I won't mention ones with scores of 6 or below. They're not films I particularly like for whatever reason. Starting with Nitram or Nitram, just saw at the start of July. Press play. It's a time travel film. It was a particular song or some sort of personal cassette recorder, something like that, which is used as the medium for allowing time travel or romance, interspersed with a sort of learning curve. Press play is a much more gentler version of Butterfly Effect. I saw similarities. It Takes Three, also known as Rhino. This is loosely based on Cyrano de Bergerac. It has similarities with Old Boys from an earlier quarter this year. Getting familiar with that story, and the modern versions of it, is usually a nerd or dorky student who is trying to help another student win the affections of someone. And in this case, in a way, I thought it should have been called It Takes Four, because there were 4 characters. Mayor Pete, that's a documentary following the campaign movements of Pete Buttigieg. Mr. Langland's Built His Dream Home, a 1948 film that I saw on my weekend classic stroke 20th century films, classic film from the golden age. I really enjoyed this Cary Grant film. Line Stealing, that's an art dealer film, not quite the calibre of Headhunters, Norwegian film. This chap who met his match, he would trick his way into people's homes, steal artwork, and he meets a woman who's doing the similar thing. Romantic comedy drama scenario. Two in the Bush. That was an LGBTQ story about a woman who, when looking for work, finds herself getting involved in a 3-way relationship. So it was a life-affirming story, I thought, about the challenges. Quite interesting for anyone who's open-minded, I guess. The Rest of Us, well, I've reviewed that before. That has a high score. Spread, I actually reviewed that, then realised it was a film I'd seen before, 2009. It was one of those films that I watched and got practically to the end before I realised I had seen it before. Totally gone from my head. I've seen well over 1,000 films since then. Anything is Possible. This is a coming-of-age story about a trans girl, how she fits in school. She's also black and has double the discrimination problems. When she has a fallout with her classmates, things get quite awkward. Don't Make Me Go, that's the film I've reviewed already. Original story, I thought. The Way You Look Tonight, again, excellent. Very original, I thought. Really thought-provoking. Playing House, I'll post links to the reviews. There's also The Social Dilemma, a documentary which I've reviewed, worth watching. There's Nope, which I haven't yet reviewed, and I thought that was great. Princess Sid, again, I give that a really high score. Another coming-of-age story when a young woman comes to stay with relatives she doesn't know, and the ups and downs of getting to know people. Adam, now that was controversial. Brother who goes to stay with his sister in New York for the summer and gets involved with her LGBTQ friends, lies about his own situation and ends up in a whole pile of trouble. It's on a massive learning curve. I thought provoking. Grease, 1978. Never seen that. Loved it. I saw that because it was on Channel 4 television as a tribute. Olivia Newton-John. Great film. I Write My Life. I have reviewed that. Not that funny. I think I've done a review for that. I haven't published it. Dog. I have reviewed that. Channing Tatum film. T11 Incomplete. A lot about disability, and there's a LGBTQ angle in that film. The Beach, 2000. Cancer's Defining Year of the 20th Century. A Danny Boyle film. Kind of liked it overall. An elusive beach in Thailand Leo DiCaprio is in search of. There's some difficult scenes I found. A scene where someone takes their life. I mean, it's gory and it resurfaces later in the film. Kind of puts me off a bit. Some people just wouldn't like it. Difficult, violent themes. Scandal Sheet. That was an interesting 1952 film on my 20th century film night list. Helicopter Mum. I watched that with a friend on Amazon Prime. That was kind of a fun film. It was about a mother and son relationship where the mother is overbearing. Upon Life, that's something I can link to here. Really enjoyed that. Crime of Passion, that was 1956 on the 20th Century Film List. Bird Box, that was one of those few psychological horror type films that I thought was great. 13 Lives, that's the dramatisation of Thai cave rescue. Very long film, but before that film I was trying to comprehend how it could be that difficult to rescue this young football team from a cave, but I understand it a lot better now. I've seen how it's covered, and I just thought the acting was great. Don't Worry Darling, I saw that just before I got really ill with COVID. Thought I might be able to see it again. I didn't. It was an interesting film set in the 50s, I think, in a new town built in a desert, isolation. The final film on my list is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I have reviewed. There's a lot of films on my list, and it'll take a lot of whistling down. Those are the films that really jump out for this quarter, July to September. If you have any thoughts about any of those films mentioned, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.